Hello and welcome to another video of Solidity Do-It-Yourself tutorials. In the last video, we deployed this contract wherein we were able to deposit and withdraw cryptos from this contract. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a constructor and a modifier function. So constructor and a modifier function. So let's start with that. So assuming that this is the account and I want to withdraw this much of way from this contract, which has 0.09999 Ether. If I click on withdraw, you can see that the transaction is successful. If I want to withdraw a little bit more, you can see that the transaction is successful to this contract. So this is the contract which we use to deploy the contract. This is the account that we've used to deploy the contract. Now, I change the account to this one, and then I do a withdraw again. You can see that the withdrawal has happened. You see it changing. I'll do it one more time. You see it changing here. You can see it changes here. That means I have withdrawn a few times, and you see that these many ethers have been added. Isn't it interesting? Because I use this account to deploy the contract, but any account can withdraw. Let's pick up a random account, right? And I click on withdraw, and you see this number is changing. You're able to withdraw, any account is able to withdraw the crypto from this contract. Do you want to do that? Would you be okay if anybody can withdraw from your account? You may not. So what we are going to do is create a constructor that can help run or stop anybody else who is not the owner of the contract to withdraw. So let's look at it. First of all, I'm going to delete this, and I go back, make a little bit more space for making some code changes. So the number one is we are going to do is create a variable address public contract owner. That means I'm creating a variable known as contract. So I'm going to deploy a function known as constructor. So constructor is the function that gets called immediately whenever you deploy a contract. Constructor is a function that gets immediately called when the contract is created in the same transaction. So on the transaction where you're creating the contract, the constructor function is called. And then we will set it to contract owner equals message.sender. That means whoever is deploying the contract, make that account as the contract owner, right? So this is the constructor, but how I'm going to use it? This constructor would be called, and it'll set the address of the account, the wallet address that deploys the contract. But how I am going to prevent the withdraw method? So in here, I'm going to write require message.sender equals contractor. That means we need the withdrawal person, the person who executes this function, the account that is executed by which executes withdraw crypto should be the contract owner. Otherwise, send a message access denied. Very simple, right? Now let's deploy this. So I compiled it, no errors. I'm going to deploy that. And now let's do the same thing. Let's put in, let's say 100. And the contract owner is 733C because that is the account that was selected when we deployed the contract. So you can deposit, any contract can deposit into this account. So 733C, and let me pick this one, and I do again 200 in a, and I say deposit, you see that anybody can deposit. But then if this account, which is not the owner, if it tries to withdraw, let's say 1, 1, 2, 3, withdraw, it says that access denied, not allowed to withdraw. Look at that. Unless and until the person who deployed the account, who deployed the contract uses it. So this is the owner of the contract. Let me try to withdraw. You see that this contract was able to withdraw from the contract because it was the owner. Any other contract, if it tries, or any other account, if it tries to withdraw anything, it'll say access denied, not allowed to withdraw. So what really happens is when constructor is called as soon as the contract was deployed, and then it sets the variable contract owner equal to message.sender. If I click on this, you see that the contract owner is 7337. Now, what if this particular function is required to be called from multiple functions, right? So sorry, this particular statement needs to be called from multiple functions. I don't want to repeat it, right? And I can put this in a function and call that function every single time from other function. I repeat, I can create a new function and then call this new function from every function that I want to use this. That's a tedious method. Let's talk about modifiers. So modifier is going to be that keyword that we can add right in the function declaration itself. To modify the function, we are going to create a modifier. So let me create a modifier here, and then I'm going to add this statement in the modifier. I'll show you how to do that. We are going to create modifier here, and I'm going to use the keyword modifier. The modifier name is modifier contract owner, and I'm going to cut this statement from here and paste it here. So I'm going to align it, and then what you need to do is for modifiers you need to put underscore and semicolon. This means that the modifier would be executed first when the function is called. So that is how you declare the modifier at the time of the function declaration. This is a modifier. This means that as soon as the function is run, the modifier contract owner is going to be called. It goes here, it checks whether the message.sender is equal to the contract owner or not. If it is true, then it goes to this line. This means whatever exists after that. So this piece would be called. This is how the flow is. So I'm going to quickly show you again. I'm going to delete the contract, go back and compile with the modifier, compile one more time, and then go back here. Now this time I'm going to select this 100 ether, CBA, Kaba B, deploying the contract, go in here and select any other contract. So for example, the first one to transfer, let's say 1 ether deposit. So you have 1 ether. Now when I wanted to withdraw it, let's say I'm going to withdraw these many way, it's not going to allow me because it says access denied. This is how you can use modifier. Now, if there are multiple functions that would need to check if the contract, the message.sender is the contract owner, all you need to do is define this modifier at the time of function declaration. Simple. So now let's let the contract owner, which is this person, withdraw it, and you see that the withdrawal happened successfully. So this is how you would create constructor and modifier. All right, a quick note. So here in this example, the minimum ETH is a constant. That means we are not going to change this number. So what I'm going to do is we can put a keyword constant in front of min_eth. That means this ether min_eth is going to be a constant. It's not going to change, and this can help bring down the gas cost. So when you run a transaction, you can bring down the gas cost by just making sure that this is a constant. That much less gas is utilized. You can look at it in the future examples when we go. And then if you look at the contract owner, this contract owner is set when the contract is executed or deployed. And therefore, this contract and owner is also is a kind of constant. That means it is not going to be changing after the contract is deployed. This min_eth is the constant even before the fifth payable contract is defined. So this is set at the time of contract deployment, and therefore this is known as immutable. That means you cannot change it once it is deployed. This is a constant and this is immutable keywords, and I wanted to let you know this. Awesome. So thank you for watching. Keep watching.